How much does Sandeman factor in now?
Well, we've got a void, so, he will, Keenan Davis will. Everybody will get a chance to compete, Donnie Nordman as well, and Paul Chaney, so I think everybody's role will increase a little bit, and that's a good opportunity for those guys. Eager to see how they respond to it.
Does it matter what position? I know Keenan's been, Marvin's back at most of the season. Does he know?
Yeah, I think most of the guys, some guys aren't, but I think most of the guys we're talking about are fairly flexible. Keenan certainly is, Colin certainly is, and Donnie's been more of a split end, if you will, and Paul's been more of a flanker type guy, but Marvin, Colin, and Keenan all have the flexibility to move around, and I think handle that pretty well.
Who will take Darrell's spot on kick returns, Coach?
We'll probably, if we're playing tomorrow, we'd probably go with Keenan back there, and also Paul Chaney, kick return. We're only playing one game, so, right now, Marcus will go as hard and long as he can. Pocky and Brad Rogers, I think, would be the next two guys in there, so, we'll play it accordingly and see how that goes. I can only base it on the practices we've had thus far. The practices have been great. That last weekend we really practiced very, very well, and we're going to have to because we're playing a really outstanding opponent, and we've got some work to do to get caught up to these guys. But I think our team's eager. I think they're anxious to play. I think they'll practice well. Time will tell.
It's getting better. It's just taking a while. It just takes a while to get it done. I come in the office and I stay in the office longer and do that kind of stuff, and I'm more involved in it than I was before. So, but we're trying. And then when I was gone, I thought the other guys did a great job. So, the first game I got to come to was the Michigan State game, and I was sitting at that game and up in the press box and just thinking to yourself, this is really where I want to be. This is who I am and what I live for, and so there's no questions of my intentions next year is to be back and to be back stronger and healthier than ever. What I miss before when I was coaching, it was all about the wins and that kind of stuff. Now it's about being around the guys. In other words, I like to be around the young guys. I like to be being around the coaches. I like being out of the house. Don't say that too loud. It's just, I guess it amounts to, I really realized what I am and who I am, and this is what I like. This is really what I like doing. That's football. I mean, sometimes you get the bear, and sometimes the bear gets you. Really, if you asked me to explain this year the Big Ten, I'd say it was the year of the quarterback. I mean, I think we got beat and we had trouble controlling some really, really good quarterbacks. I mean, if you take this league, I mean, you could argue about who's the best. Is it Pryor? Is it Persa? Is it Stanzi? Is it the kid from Indiana? I mean, you go on and on and on with the quality quarterbacks that were in the league, and they were all good enough to beat you. They were all good enough to beat you. It was the year of the quarterback. I mean, I think Cousins is excellent. I think Stanzi's good. The kid from Wisconsin's good. The kid from Northwestern, the guy from Indiana, the Ohio State guy, the Michigan quarterback is like a jackrabbit. I mean, every team had a quarterback that was capable of beating you, and you don't get that every year. We're going to find out. We're going to find out. Every day a star is born, today may be you. You got to look at it that way. A long time. I mean, like I told somebody the other day, I've seen these pictures of guys on, an artificial leg snow skiing. So if they can do that, why can't I coach? I think it's just a case of getting it. There are actually days when I have to look down to figure out, when I have this prosthetic on, which one's the real leg and which one's the artificial leg. It's starting to, to where it helps you, to where it helps having something there. You know, you get out of bed and you don't have the artificial leg on, it's a long fall to the ground. You know, you start to get out of bed, you say, oh shit, I only got one leg on it. I better get the other leg on. So you gotta make some time for yourself to stay healthy. That's where I think Kirk does such a great job, is Kirk runs every day. He's in fantastic physical condition because he takes a little bit, he's smart enough to take some time out of his day where he runs and he exercises. You know, and I mean, the guy, I think that's why he can do everything he can do, because he's in such great physical health. He really is. It's amazing. Our guys go jogging with him. It's like a 5-mile sprint. You know, they say, "Oh, I don't want to run with Kirk today," you know, because he just takes off and runs. So.
You gonna get in that group?
No, I'm not in that group. A lot of places I might die. One of them will not be on a cinder track. I might die on the beach at Myrtle Beach or something, but I'm not dying on a cinder track.
But the key is, you know, when it, you know, we're not going to know every time they come at us. So, you know, Coker's got to be ready to, you know, he's got to be ready to go, you know, as well. We made enough plays to, but not, you know, at certain points, but not enough in the end. You know, not enough in the end to get it done, and we certainly weren't very good in the 2 minute, you know, by any means. As much as we tried to change it up, or you know, always something always got in our way. You know, in every successful 2-minute drive, you're gonna face some adversity somewhere along the line. It could be a sack, it could be, you know, it could be anything, but. You know, you've got to just work through it like it never happened, and you know, overcome it and keep on marching. We never were able to do that. Keenan Davis is a good football player, and you know, we're going to find out. You know, we'll find out, Mark. I mean, this is where, you know, guys that have ability or great players begin to emerge, show what they're capable of doing, and show that they've worked hard for their opportunities by taking advantage of, you know, what they have in the ballgame. So, yeah, you know, we have confidence in Keenan, number one, and number two, you know, I think there's a lot of excitement that, you know, he gets an opportunity that he's going to do whatever he can to take advantage of it. So, I can't answer the overall question because, you know, that's like asking again how Marcus would do when you can't be sure, you know. So, you know, the proof's going to be in the pudding. Googled myself?
Yeah, you ever Googled yourself?
My kids have. You know, I haven't done it in a while, but I have. And my wife will tell me that she does this. I shouldn't be saying this now in public. It's too late, right? But anyway, she'll do stuff like that every now and then. I'm going to speak out of both sides of my mouth here. Number one, I really think you need to stay on top of that stuff as best you can. But number two, I never pay attention to any of it because I don't think that there's nothing. I'm not a public relations guy. I'm a football coach, and I don't need to be worried about my public relations. You know, we need to be worried about making the next first down, finding a way for the team to get better offensively, especially, and you know, getting in that end zone, being better in the red zone, whatever it may be. You know, that particular week, and go back at that and not worry about everybody's opinion, including moms. Yeah, that question gets asked a lot of times, even in recruiting, and I think, you know, naturally that stuff will take care of itself if it happens or it doesn't happen. And I think the guys that stay focused on trying to do the best job at the job they're at right now are the ones that, you know, end up being, you know, successful, you know, at what they're doing. And that's really what, you know, all we've tried to do, all I've ever tried to do here.